What if I told you dragons were never myths? They were erased, not imagined, not exaggerated, removed. And the reason you don't see them today is the same reason history lies about everything else. Welcome to KC's X-Files. Every ancient civilization on Earth talks about the same creature, same wings, same scales, same intelligence. Civilizations that never met, somehow recorded the same being. China carved them into stone, Europe hunted them, Mesoamerica worshipped them. Many ancient African cultures feared, respected, or revered dragons. Different names, same thing. That's not mythology, that's documentation.
There's a group of people that say that dragons were real. And I'll explain.
Ooh.
So around the same time period, so to speak, and I'm not one of these people, so I'm probably going to get the details wrong
like
a little
Matthew
bit.
McConaughey movie right now.
Yeah, seriously. But so around the same time period in, China, South America, Africa, all these different, Rome, all these places, images depicted people fighting dragons, right? And every dragon was slightly different, but it was all a giant scaly animal that could fly. So when you break that down, you think about the fact that large birds had a hard time being fossilized because their bones are so porous, right? So because they have like hollowish bones, they break down very easily and they don't fossilize. So the group that says this, basically they're saying the evidence is the reason there's no fossils of dragons is because they had bird bones and they were actually very delicate animals. But a handful of these small population of these giant flying lizards existed and basically encompassed all these different countries where they all depicted fighting dragons in their own way, and they were all killed off by knights or whatever it is, and then didn't fossilize.
What?
So it's like the science is saying that if there were lizards big enough to fly around and eat people, they didn't have bones that could fossilize.
So it'd be like an eagle.
Right. And that's why all these human populations around the world have depictions of them, because they did actually exist.
Each culture interpreted dragons through its own lens. Some saw them as gods, some saw them as monsters, some saw them as protectors, some saw them as enemies. Myths don't stay consistent across continents. Real creatures do. We're told dragons are fantasy because modern humans have never seen one. But think about this, we've never seen dinosaurs alive either. Yet we know they existed, so why is one accepted as fact and the other laughed off as fiction? Because dragons didn't just exist. They coexisted with us. Dragons weren't wiped out by nature. They were wiped out by us. As humans expanded, dragons stopped being gods and started being threats. And what do humans do to threats? Hunt them, demonize them, and rewrite history. Dragons became evil, then stories, then fairy tales. That's not accidental, that's control of narrative. People say dragons are fantasy now because they show up in movies and games. But here's the truth. Movies didn't create dragons. They revived them. From Game of Thrones to How to Train Your Dragon to Skyrim, Elden Ring, Dark Souls, World of Warcraft, Harry Potter. Every generation keeps bringing dragons back. Why? Because they're embedded in the human psyche. Stories that survive thousands of years don't come from imagination. They come from memory. History didn't forget dragons. They were deleted. And when something that powerful is erased, you have to ask one question. What were they protecting us from? Or what were they protecting themselves from? Are they some form of guardians or enemies? These fantastic creatures have always been a top mystery file. Like and subscribe for more files and check out other files you may have missed. This is the Dragon File. You're watching KC's X-Files. Stay woke, everyone. Stay creative, and always question the world around you.